There's something off about Buc-ee's, and I've known it since my first day. It isn't the endless rows of snacks, the pristine restrooms, or even the creepy beaver mascot grinning from every wall. No, it's the rules. The strange, specific, and sometimes downright terrifying rules. I thought working here would be easy, a mindless job while I saved up for school. But now, I'm not so sure I'll ever leave. Not after what I've seen. Let me take you back to the start, to the day I realized Buc-ee's wasn't just a quirky gas station. It was something far worse. Buc-ee's is legendary. You've probably heard of it. The massive gas stations with hundreds of pumps, sparkling clean bathrooms, and shelves stacked high with everything from smoked brisket sandwiches to themed onesies. I was excited to work here at first. The pay was decent, the customers seemed friendly, and honestly, I loved the smell of freshly roasted pecans wafting through the air. But on my first day, something felt off. The other employees wouldn't look me in the eye. The manager handed me a thick binder labeled Buc-ee's Employee Handbook, Confidential, and his grin didn't reach his eyes. The rules started out normal: smile at every customer, never let the bathrooms get dirty, and always restock the jerky wall. But then I reached the section labeled Special Instructions for Night Staff. Rule number 1, never look at the security cameras. Rule number 2, don't speak to the overnight stalkers. Rule number 3, clean the soda fountains before 3 a.m. only. Rule number 4, never stay after your shift ends. It sounded like a joke, or maybe some weird hazing ritual, but the way the manager's face darkened when I asked about it told me otherwise. You'll be fine, he said, almost too quickly. Just follow the rules. For the first week, everything seemed normal. Buc-ee's was always bustling, no matter the time. Kids dragged their parents to the candy aisle, truckers loaded up on coffee and hot food, and tourists posed with the oversized stuffed beavers. But as the hours crept closer to midnight, the energy shifted. The store felt emptier, even if people were still around. The fluorescent lights buzzed louder. Shadows seemed to stretch longer. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. Rule number 1, never look at the security cameras. I broke this rule on my third night. Curiosity got the better of me. I figured, what harm could it do? The screens were mounted above the counter, showing live feeds of the aisles, the parking lot, and the back room. At first, everything looked normal. But then, I saw it. A figure standing in aisle 7, staring directly at the camera. Its face wasn't right. The features were too smooth, like someone had stretched skin over a mannequin's head. It didn't move, not even when a customer walked past, oblivious. When I blinked, it was gone. Rule number 2, don't speak to the overnight stalkers. The overnight stalkers were an odd bunch. They wore the same uniforms as us, but their eyes were glassy, their movements too synchronized. They didn't speak, not even to each other. Once I tried to say hello to one of them, a wiry man stacking bags of trail mix. He froze, his head snapping toward me like a bird. "Don't!" one of my coworkers hissed, yanking me away. "They're not like us." Rule number 3, clean the soda fountains before 3 a.m. Only, I forgot about this rule once. I was scrubbing the soda fountain at 3:15 a.m. when the lights flickered. The air turned icy, and I swear I heard whispers. Low, guttural voices speaking a language I couldn't understand. I turned around, and for a split second, I saw them. Tall, shadowy figures standing just beyond the edge of the light. When the lights came back on, they were gone. The back room. We're not allowed to enter. The back room was always locked, but sometimes you'd hear noises coming from inside. Scraping sounds, faint whispers. Once I saw a shadow move under the door, even though no one had gone in. The night I broke rule number 4, it was an accident. My shift ended at midnight, but I stayed late to help a coworker close. At 12:03 a.m., the lights went out. A deep, vibrating hum filled the air, and the aisles seemed to stretch endlessly. I ran toward the exit, but the door wouldn't budge. That's when I saw them, the stalkers, but their faces were wrong. Their mouths stretched into unnatural grins, their eyes glowing faintly. They moved toward me in perfect unison, whispering my name. The beaver mascot. A warning, not a joke. The next day, I noticed something about the beaver mascot. Its eyes, which I'd always thought were cartoonishly cheerful, seemed darker, almost watchful, and the slogan beneath it, "The friendliest place on earth," felt less like a promise and more like a threat. I'm still working at Buc-ee's. I don't have a choice. If I leave, I know they'll come for me. Maybe they already have. So, if you ever find yourself at Buc-ee's late at night, remember this: follow the rules. And whatever you do, don't linger. If you see something unusual, someone standing too still, shadows moving where they shouldn't, pretend you didn't. Smile, grab your snacks, and leave as quickly as you can. As for me, I've learned to accept the strange reality of my job. I stick to the rules, no matter how bizarre they seem. When I hear whispers from the back room, or catch a glimpse of something unnatural on the security cameras, I just look away. But sometimes I can't help wondering, what is Buc-ee's really hiding? Why are the rules so specific? And most importantly, who or what are we really working for? Whatever the answers are, I'm not brave enough to find out. Not yet. Maybe one day, someone else will break the rules completely and uncover the truth. Until then, I'll keep clocking in, smiling at the customers, and praying I don't make another mistake. If you ever stop by my register, you'll know me by my hollow smile and tired eyes. Just don't ask me about the rules. Some questions are better left unanswered. FAQs. 1. Why do the rules exist? The rules are there to keep the staff and customers safe, or at least as safe as they can be. Breaking them seems to attract attention from things we don't understand. 2. Has anyone else noticed strange things at Buc-ee's? Yes, but most people brush it off. Customers chalk it up to overactive imaginations, and employees either quit or learn to stay quiet. 3. How does Buc-ee's stay so clean despite the horror? That's one of the biggest mysteries. The cleanliness might be part of whatever strange power runs this place, or maybe it's just a facade to distract from the darkness underneath. 4. What happens if you try to quit? I don't know. Some former employees seem fine. Others disappear. I'm too scared to find out which fate would be mine. 5. Are all Buc-ee's locations like this? I can't say for sure. I've only worked at this one location, but the rules seem too specific to be isolated to just one store. 6. Can customers be affected by the rules? If they're here too late or wander where they shouldn't, maybe. I've seen people leave looking pale and shaken, but I try not to dwell on it.